Y'all, what's good? I keep waking up at like really early in the morning. And I got my window open. It's really awesome. I actually really like waking up this early. I don't remember my travel last night. I just know it was awesome. Hanging out with people and in my power, that's all I remember. I don't know why I'm not remembering my actual travels like that right now. I think I'm gonna go to the washroom and then hop back in the astral real quick. Didn't remember what I was first doing, but then when I hopped back in, then I did a whole trip and I remembered lots of that. I'm noticing a lot of spirits are wanting to talk. Like wherever I go, there's like these spirits that just wanna talk with me or like want to have a friendship, which I understand, right? So I'm not saying I don't want that, but I'm just noticing that I'm clocking that T of like, yo, when you go places, you're gonna get noticed. Like you're gonna get noticed in the spirit realm when you go places. So this is for my astral travelers who are continuously traveling. You're explorers. You're starting to gain a sort of presence in the spirit realm. You're gonna be known. You're gonna be noticed. I'm now realizing if I go to populated places, I'm probably gonna be noticed, and to get used to that. Some of these spirits are amazing, and I'm like, yo, we friends now, we friends. And then some of these spirits, they're rolling up because they wanna try something, they wanna do something, they wanna feed off of you, they wanna affect you, so that when you go back to the physical, your mission is basically tainted with. They want to affect you because everybody's seeing what you're doing on Earth, so they want to try and stop you, or they want to pretend to be your friend and then do something to you, right? I want to talk about astral friends and astral family because this is something that we all as astral travelers say we want to do, or we always said we wanted to do. We always said we wanted to have friends out in the stars. We said we wanted to get to know our star family out there, stuff like that. Even though there's infinite amount of beings out there, I was like, I'm gonna get to know all of them. I'm gonna be friends with all of them. And now let me tell you my experience so far with that. A lot of you travelers, when we travel together, or maybe you see me when we're like in the same area of the astral realm together, you guys always say you see me chatting with a lot of people, because it's damn true. I'm always chatting with people. I love networking and socializing, especially in the astral realm. Now, I love doing it in the physical, but for some reason, something about the astral realm, it's even better, especially the types of beings that you make friends with out there and the tight-knit relationships you have with beings out there that are only in the astral. So right now is amazing. So I'm going to tell you guys some examples of some astral relationships I have, so you guys could kind of track as to what they may look like for you, or what they can look like for you. I'm friends with a lot of different beings out there, but these are some that are the most noted I could think of in my mind right now in my journey so far. First one I want to talk about is my time traveler friends, Bumba Ross. Wait, hold on. They watching right now, bro. They watching right now. These are beings that I astral travel with, specifically to time travel. So there's many that I create a group with, and we time travel together. Like, I remember we had this one class, we were in a class together, and we had this teacher that was teaching us how to time travel. And I made friends with these guys in the time travel class. Point where they were like, okay, you guys can time travel on your own. We lived together in an astral house, and then we portaled to different areas together. And we all had different like assignments, and then we had a bunch of assignments we did together. I will say that these people I still time travel with when it's time. Now, most of them look dark skins. They're Silanthian, most of them, which is like a branch of Anunnaki. So like 9 ether beings. And I love them so much. Most of them are darker skinned and some are light skinned. But that's for that time travel group, because recently I've been a lot in Silanthia, so of course a lot of dark-skinned humans there. So yeah, these guys are time travel humans. And in the class, I remember we did a trip where we were going on a class trip together, and we went on this class trip to the Aztecs on Earth. So we went back in time to the Aztecs on Earth, and they opened the portal. And I remember I kept saying, I was like, oh my God, I want to bring gum. I want to bring crystals from my time. And the teacher's like, are you coming? Like, the portal's open. It's just like, are you coming? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm coming. And then I walked through, and then I don't remember specifically what we did there. But I just remember speaking with a lot of the Aztecs. The whole point was to speak with the Aztecs and bring their knowledge to now. But those people, sometimes we live together, and then I could be home, and then they're traveling somewhere, and they have like a portal open, and then wait for them to come back, and then I'm going to open a portal and then go somewhere. Sometimes we go together. So typically, it's almost like a hype house, but it's like a time travel house. Ooh, I do have a lot of water being friends because I love going to sextons, and I have a lot of water being family. And a lot of them I've been discovering recently. So a few of them, for example, I remember I made a friend and he was a killer whale. He's not alive now anymore, or at least in the alive way in the astral realm anymore. But I honor him every day. And he looked like a killer whale, but he had a scar and like almost like part of a missing fin. So we went to war together a lot. And we fought together a lot in past lives. And we did a little bit in the astral. And so our relationship was always built off of like knowing each other from way back in past lives in warfare together. And I remember when I was in Sextons, it was like we was going to different planets and different cities together. And then he ended up passing away after. But he was so fun, so upbeat. Like the fun energy of like a dolphin is like him. So fun, so beautiful. And then he decided to pass over because it was like it was time for him to pass over. That's one of my water being friends. And I have a lot of water being friends in which are like, they look part human, part fish. It's like they have fins all over their body and stuff, and gills. Is awesome. Sometimes I shapeshift into that when I'm going to if I'm going to Sextons and I'm going into like the water city, I'll usually go as that or like a merman. But yeah, I love those guys. I loved going to their events. They had like concerts and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's really cool. Another example of some friends were when I went to Arendor. Now, there's a lot of stories I could tell about these planets, y'all. As you can see, there's a lot of places I've been to, a lot of places I go to, and a lot of places I haven't spoken about. But Arendor is a jungle planet. It's got a lot of history, but it's essentially like a thick, dark jungle planet. Dark meaning that the jungle reflects your fears. So everything that happens, or any animals that come at you, it's basically like your fears, right? On this planet, you have to learn how to blend with the jungle, or else the jungle is going to come for you. I used to have some lifetimes on Arendor, and I have family. When I figured out I had family on Arendor, I went right into the astral realm and went there and hung out with them. And it was like, again, like hanging out with any other family. Very dark skin. They were so dark skinned, it was like black. Like it was really dark. And they were really strong. They were really strong, but really happy people. Again, very Lyran-like energy. We went off of Arendor. It was two guys I hung out with. We went from Arendor, we went to Orsar, and we were walking around. Orsar is like a main hub planet for like city life, and we'll go shopping there to speak with people. I went there with these guys because I was like, I want to hang out with y'all, right? Let me tell you, they're like so strong. Like when they walk around, they're like really strong. And then when it's just us, they're like goofballs. It's the best joy ever. My dogs are always like that. So when they were like this, I was like, oh, y'all definitely my family. I've been missing y'all like crazy. We were walking around the city, and the city is like a lot of black and water beings, like black looking humans and water humanoids. And we're walking around, and a lot of people were like, whoa, like, they're called, the people here from Arendor that I was hanging out with are called Adorni. And they were like, oh my God, like, look, it's Adorni. And everybody was like looking at like, whoa. And I'm walking around with them. I'm like, I didn't know it was like that, right? And then a bunch of people just wanted to be my friend after and like say hi to me. So there's even a lot of friends that I have on these planets that are kind of more like acquaintances, people that I once knew or stuff like that, that all of a sudden wanted to be friends again because I had my friends there with me. It's like they saw who I was affiliated with and they were like, whoa, like we want to be your friend now. This is the last person I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to bring up some information y'all need to know about astral friendships and astral family. I have a spirit daughter, and her name is Faith. She means a lot to me. And she is somewhere that I can't disclose, but she's not on Earth. I always knew I had a spirit daughter, but I didn't fully know how it worked or anything like that. I was just like, wow, I have a daughter. She looks very similar to me, but like in like a smaller woman form. Like she could be 12. We have so much history together and so much stuff together. But I named her Faith because I would always say, with faith, I can accomplish anything. And that's literally and related to my child too. Faith, the trait meant a lot to me. Like having faith was everything. And so I named my daughter Faith, and she taught me a lot in my lifetimes and teaches me a lot now about having faith. I have spirit children that are on the planet now, incarnated now, and they know they're my children. It was wild how it happened. So there's certain kids in my immediate family in which I could feel are my spirit children. And I always kind of just knew it energetically, but I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna just take care of them, whatever. And I didn't think too much about it. The day it was a family gathering and we all got together, those kids were going around telling everybody, I didn't say nothing to them, and they were going around telling everybody that I'm their real dad. And sometimes my nephew still calls me daddy. I'm like, bro, every time my heart just like pops, like they're like, Cash is our real dad. And so sometimes now they're like, I said that? But some of them, they still are like, yep, like you're my dad, right? Which is really cool. But yeah, so I have some children that are incarnated, 3 that are incarnated. I remember the one day she came and apologized to me in the astral for something. And then when I saw her in person, she was like, did you get my message? And I was like, the one where you kept apologizing and I forgive you. And she's like, yes, okay, good. She's really good at astral traveling. And now me and her kind of hanging. She's probably even watching this video right now. And I decided to continue to be connected with her in the astral because we can't in the physical. Faith, my daughter, she knows I'm on a mission on Earth. So like we don't hang out all the time, but I still love to see her once in a while. And she's teaching me a lot right now. Now this is information about having friends and family in the astral. Okay, let's talk about it. So you want to have friends. When I tell you this, you need to understand this, that not everybody out there is your friend. You guys know this. Not everybody out there is your friend. You shouldn't make friends with negative entities and negative beings. So if you can't trust them, and you're like, I don't know, you shouldn't affiliate with them. You shouldn't be hanging out with vampires. You shouldn't be hanging out with succubuses and succubi. I had a relationship with one for a long time. That taught me a lot. They still come at me, bro. You will have friends and you will have enemies. You will have beings and spirits that you're like, I stay away from you. Don't come near me. It's like they're always after you or always looking for a way to get you. Get you meaning like looking for a way to hurt you. Maybe it's like they want to drain your sexual energy. Maybe they want to make you think horrible about yourself. Maybe they want to like jump you in the astral realm and then have you feeling weak in the physical. Stuff like that. If you're a warrior, you expect a lot more of that than the average person. But be aware that if you have a high spiritual status, this is for my people that know you have a high spiritual status, you are going to get a lot of people who want to be your friend. You go to a new city in the astral, you go to a new planet, a new civilization, and people are going to know of you. Not just because you're on Earth, but because your soul, your cosmic identity is known. So people know you. So I even get people when I go to a new place where it's like they're fans. Like they're looking, they're like, oh my God, like he's here. Or they come up and ask me a bunch of questions because they're watching me on Earth. Or they know of me from what I've done before Earth and stuff like that. So your spiritual status, you're going to know it right away when you go out there. And you won't even maybe remember fully what you've done before Earth, because coming to Earth, you're supposed to forget, right? But you just go out there and you're like, whoa, I didn't know people are watching me like that. Or I had people that really like me like that. You're gonna have that. Some places I don't go to because I know there's gonna be a lot of spirits or entities that are gonna want to talk to me. And that's not a bad thing. It's just, if I'm focused on doing something, I'm like, I don't want to go to a place where I'm going to be like bombarded by a lot of people that want to talk. But when I do want to socialize and engage, then I will go to places like that and speak with a lot of different entities and spirits. I love it. I love it. Just be aware you will have enemies and you will have friends. You will have allies and you will have people that are working against you depending on what you do. But that's like in any density. Like in the physical, it's the same thing, right? You're going to have friends and you're going to have enemies. It's just how it goes. If you want to make friends, you could go out there and just socialize, but be wary of where you're going. If you want to make a lot of positive friends, you want to go to areas where there's a lot more positivity. If you want warrior friends, you're going to go areas where there's warriors. Be aware of where you're going and why, and who you're engaging with and why. Because you're going to make a lot of friends. And if you're doing a lot of missions and assignments and you're working against the NAA or the negative alien agenda on Earth or in the stars, you're going to have enemies too, okay? That's just how life goes. Astral intimate relationships is a real thing too. So it could be very similar. It could almost be exactly the same as like if you were to have a physical relationship. But you'll notice there's just something that's a little bit different to it energetically. It's because it's only in the astral realm. And you can only see them when you go in the astral realm, or if you're spiritually attuned, you could hang out with them while you're in your physical vessel, or speak to them telepathically while you're in your physical vessel, of course, right? As long as you guys don't get too attached to an intimate relationship in the astral realm, that's what I really recommend you watch out for, is being too attached. Because then, especially when ETs land in a little while, then it's going to be like, oh, are they going to come? Do they have a physical vessel? Will I be able to be in an intimate relationship with them in the physical too? And you do all of that and you get too attached, and all you want to do is go to sleep and connect with them. It's just like the same of having a toxic relationship in the physical where you're too attached. Literally same thing, right? It's not physical, it's astral. Astral teachers, astral staff, astral coworkers. Oh my God. It could go so deep because there's so much you could do in the astral realm. Like I have a lot of coworkers, like a lot of GFL friends, right? It's like people that work for the GFL as well, whether they're incarnated or non-incarnated. For now, we'll talk about the astral ones, in which I do astral work with. Like we'll go on missions together. Sometimes you guys may notice you're assigned with a certain person that you just met in the astral realm, and you guys end up becoming like pals because of that joint, right? It's like you're assigned to have this partner to go monster hunting together, and then from then on, now that's your dog, right? If that's how it is, that's how it is. If you meet astral cousins, right? Those are your dogs, right? Those are your dogs. Teachers, like you go to astral school, or you meet people in the astral arena, and you're friends with the teachers, or you're friends with other students, and then you guys are dogs after that. Or maybe it's just like you guys are school friends. We had those. I had a bunch of those ones where it was just like school friends. They even told me where they lived in the physical. They were like, yeah, like I live in China, in like Guangzhou. And I'm like, well, that's really cool, right? And we knew we were never going to see each other again, though. It was most likely we were never going to see each other again. But it was just awesome to be in astral school together. You guys can see I'm passionate about this subject. I could go on and on and on and on. I wish I had more plant friends. Plant people are really, really chill. Like, really, really chill. If they're not really chill, they're really territorial and protective. Like, these guys don't play around, you know what I'm saying? Now, related to astral enemies real quick, there'll be some beings that you're almost like at odds with. One of my biggest astral enemies, if you want to call it that, would be the negative reptilians, because I've been fighting these guys since I started astral projecting years ago. Like, sometimes they come in disguise. They may try and pretend like they're my mother or pretend like they're one of my friends, but they're really reptilian pretending to be one of them. Or I'll be on a mission and then the reptilians are coming in and causing issues in the civilization, especially on Earth. Like there were some physical kids that I used to mentor who would come to me upset because they were experiencing reptile people, they called them, that no one else could see but were messing around with them. And I just went in the astral and I just fought them off. Like, I was like, get out of here. And then the next day the kids are like, oh, they're gone. Like, it's finally done. So these guys really hate me, and I understand why, because I don't play around with them. Like, when I see them, the positive ones I love, but the negative ones I don't play around with. And there was a point in time where I was purposely hunting their asses. Like, I was astral traveling just to fight. You guys know I used to heavily be like an astral bounty hunter. I was like, any negative entity y'all want me to go for, I'ma do it. And them reptilians was one of the biggest enemies I would fight. I'd just be like, I'd go to the astral and I'd be going to the GFL and I'm like, who do y'all want me to fight on Earth? Where do y'all want me to fight on the stars? What do y'all want me to do? And one of the biggest things was protecting people from reptilians on the planet or off the planet. I still face them to this day once in a while, of course. Some are even in the physical shapeshifted, like they're physical shape. I've come across those guys too. At one point, I wasn't even trying to fight them. At the beginning, they kept coming and fighting me. Like, they would just pull up and like, maybe I'd be like having a travel that I interpreted as a dream, and it's like me in my house, and then someone in the house is acting really weird, and I'll pull them aside and be like, you can't do that here, or that's not appropriate. And then they would shapeshift into like a giant reptilian and yell in my face and get really mad. I had those a few times, and at the beginning those scared me. I'm like, whoa, there's like these reptile people that are shapeshifting in my astral travel. So that's when I was starting to become aware that there was reptilian beings that were negative and after me. And that's when I started bounty hunting. I was like, all right, they're gonna hunt their asses. I'm curious how many of you guys have explored out in the stars and have made lots of friends or even enemies. I'm curious. Y'all let me know in the comments below some of your relationships, or if you aren't there yet, tell me about relationships you want to have, places you want to go, and things you want to do. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon. Peace out.